For centuries, we've been the ones building our cities. They're amazing monuments to what we can achieve, right? But they're also, well, they're noisy, they're chaotic. So what if we handed the blueprint over to a totally new kind of intelligence? That's exactly what we're going to dive into today.
So yeah, that's the big question here. I know, it sounds like something straight out of a science fiction movie, but this future, it's coming up faster than you might think. Just try to picture it. A city that's not just built by us, but designed in partnership with an AI. A place where data, beautiful design, and even nature all come together in a way that's, well, completely new.
Okay, so to really get a grip on this future, we got to look at where we are right now. I mean, our cities are incredible, right? They're these massive feats of engineering. But let's be honest, they're also the result of a million different people with different goals, a lot of short-term thinking. And what do we get? Traffic jams, pollution, and just a lot of inefficiency.
And this really shows you the huge difference in how we approach things. Our way, driven by individual ambition, it often ends up in, well, chaos. But an AI, its goal could be something else entirely. It could be a system that's built from the ground up for balance and harmony. It's this massive shift from designing for the bottom line to designing for our actual well-being.
So the big question is, how do we actually get from that chaos to this idea of harmony? Well, that's where the AI architect comes into play. And we're not just talking about some fancy new software here. Think of it as a completely new kind of city planner, one that has the power to simulate and test out millions of possible futures that we could only ever dream about.
This whole new field actually has a name, AI urbanism. And it's pretty much what it sounds like. It's where you take massive computing power and you point it at city planning. And AI can run millions of different simulations at the same time, predicting not just traffic patterns or how the energy grid will work, but even something as incredibly complex as the emotional well-being of the people living there. The whole point is to sift through this ocean of possibilities to find the absolute best blueprint.
So how does this actually work? Well, the process is surprisingly simple, at least in concept. Step 1, the AI just listens. It gathers data on pretty much everything, the whole heartbeat of the city. Then it starts running countless different scenarios to see what works best. And finally, once it finds the optimal design, it spits out the blueprints for a city that's way more efficient and just a better place to live.
And all of this, it leads to something that's really, really incredible. Because we're not just talking about smarter roads or a more efficient power grid. We are talking about creating a city that actually feels alive. A city that works less like a machine and more like a living, breathing ecosystem.
Okay, so let's start with the foundation, living infrastructure. Seriously, imagine streets that can heal their own potholes, or neighborhoods that aren't static but are designed to grow and adapt over the years, kind of like a forest. And get this, you'd have AI drones buzzing around, constantly working to make the city greener by planting and taking care of entire forests right on top of our buildings.
And it doesn't stop at the ground level. The buildings themselves become dynamic, adaptive. We're talking about towers with ventilation systems that literally breathe in sync with the city's air. Buildings that can physically move just a little bit to face the sun for the best solar power. Even vertical gardens that twist and turn to follow the sunlight all day long. And of course, you have to talk about energy, which gets completely reimagined. In a city like this, waste isn't something you throw away. It's a fuel source. You'd see massive floating solar farms out on the water, and the skyscrapers themselves would have wind turbines built right into their design, becoming part of the skyline. It's this world where technology and nature finally stop fighting each other.
And this quote, this really gets to the heart of it. For so long, our cities have been built around one thing: money, economic forces. But an AI's main goal, its primary directive, it could be something completely different. Just imagine a city that's designed first and foremost for balance, for sustainability, and for our well-being. It's a total, profound shift in what we prioritize.
Okay, so this all sounds amazing, this grand vision, but what does it actually mean for us, for the people who would actually live there? How does all this high-tech stuff change our day-to-day lives?
Well, think about all the little things that drive you crazy about city life right now. Traffic lights, potholes, the smog. All of that could just go away. Instead, picture a perfectly smooth flow of self-driving cars, streets that fix themselves, and air that's actually clean to breathe. It's really about removing all that friction from our daily lives. And maybe the coolest part is that the city never stops getting better. It's a living system, remember? It's constantly learning from all the data that we, the people living in it, create. Things like traffic patterns, how we use energy, where people walk. All of that is fed back into the system in this constant loop of improvement, so the city gets smarter and more responsive every single day.
You know, when you start to put all these pieces together, you realize we're talking about something much, much bigger than just better cities. We're actually talking about laying the foundation for a whole new kind of civilization, one that's built on a true partnership between our human values and the power of artificial intelligence.
And let's be really clear about something. As big and grand as this vision sounds, this isn't science fiction anymore. The technology to start doing this, it's already here. Right now, AI is optimizing supply chains, managing power grids, helping architects with their designs. So this isn't some far-off dream. It's really just the next logical step.
So, here we are, standing on the edge of this absolutely incredible new frontier. And the final question, the most important one, it isn't really about the technology. It's about us. If we have an AI that can design the perfect city for us, what values do we give it? What do we tell it is important? Who will we ask it to become? That's the real challenge and the incredible opportunity that's right in front of us.